When people wake up in the morning, the first thing they start to think about are their problems. And those problems are linked to their emotions that travel along the neural pathways that connect us to our memories. And each one of these memories are connected to emotions, which are linked to different people, different things, certain times and certain places. And if our brain, the subconscious or the unconscious mind, is a record of all the things in the past, the moment they start their day, they're already living in the past because they're thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion linked to it. And these emotions are the end product of your experience you've had in your past. So the moment you recall those memories or recall those problems, a sudden feeling of being unhappy or a feeling of unworthiness come with them. If you feel angry, sad, you feel the pain, you feel the hurt. You can either feel the fear and you can even feel the guilt around those memories. Now, how you think and how you feel creates a mental state in which you are living and who you are being. So a person's entire state of being when they start their day is all started from their past. So what does this all mean? It means your experiences in life that enable you to learn, and it's your prior learning that creates your internal dialogue. And it is this, your internal dialogue, that lays the path for your future thoughts. So your past that is familiar, it gives you a sense of false security and predictability. So sooner or later, your past becomes your predictable future. So if you can see how your thoughts have something to do with the choices that you make in life, they certainly have something to do with your destiny. You can't think greater than how you feel right now. So your feelings have become the means of your thinking, the source from where you get your thoughts from. Therefore, if you accept the very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past, which means you're going to keep creating the same patterns and results in your life. You will feel what you focus on. So when you grab your phone first thing in the morning, check your Facebook, messages, even emails, you take a selfie, you post it on Facebook, you do your Instagram, now you feel really connected. You've gone through your patterns of behavior, and these patterns of behavior create predictability, and the predictability creates a feeling of safety. You wake up at the same time, you get out of bed on the same side, you put the coffee on, you go to the loo, you get ready for work by taking a shower, getting dressed, brushing your teeth, doing your hair. Then you drive to work the same way in the same traffic, seeing the same people, all of which push the same buttons in you and trigger the same emotional triggers as they themselves do the same things. Welcome to the wheel of routine, which becomes your program. It becomes your social conditioning with a belief that this is normal. But where's your free will? Where's your soul's truth in all of this routine and programming? Where's it gone? You've buried it deep within the program, and you weren't even aware that it was happening because you were never taught about emotions in the schooling system. Your parents were never taught about it either. So there's Buckley's chance of them being able to have taught you anything to do with your emotions also. So when it comes to change and when it comes to your growth, this cycle of emotions and thoughts have become your unconscious program. So now, by the time you're a young adult, 95% of who you think you are is nothing more than a well-practiced, memorized set of behaviors based on your emotional reactions, your unconscious habits you've perfected over this time. That they become part of your hardwired attitudes, beliefs, patterns, and perception that function in no different to an automated computer program. So you can say with your 5% of your conscious mind that you want to be healthy, you want to be happy, you want a loving relationship, you want a life of freedom, but your unconscious reality is running on an entirely different program, a program that was never designed to have you achieve what it is that you really want and desire. So with the 95% of your brain running a program that doesn't serve you, how the hell are you going to change so you can step into your truth and start living a life where you're truly aligned with your truth to achieve what it is that you want? Well, you have to get beyond the critical and analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is your critical faculty, your analytical mind. And that's where the inner work comes in. Because until you do the inner work and download a different program and a different belief system, the same whole shit will continue to show up. And this is where you can begin to make some really important life changes. So many people wait for crisis or trauma, a disease or a diagnosis. They wait for loss, for a tragedy to make up their mind to change. They wait until the internal pain becomes so great that they have to change or they'll feel like they'll check out and die as a result. Why? Why wait? You can learn and change now. Even from the state of pain and suffering, you can learn to change your life into a state of joy, a life of inspiration, not only for others, but more so a life that inspires you from within. I think right now the coolest thing is that people are waking up and starting to realize this. They're taking action to transform their lives into one that ignites their soul. People don't have to live in a mode of stress and survival where you're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on past experience. No longer do you have to select the patterns of the worst possible outcome to emotionally looking at everything with fear while subconsciously conditioning your body into a state of fear. If you're doing this, you're more likely completely unaware that you're literally avoiding your infinite potential and the quantum field. If you continue to do that enough times, your body can have a panic attack and you never saw it coming. You can't even predict it because it's all programmed subconsciously. The universe, your truth, the divine, whatever you want to call it, it will send you your messages of truth, and they'll come as a feather. And when you ignore the feather, it's going to send you a stick. And if you ignore that stick, it most definitely is going to send you a brick. All until you really listen to your truth. When people become addicted to the rush of these emotions and use these problems and conditions in their life as evidence to reaffirm their limiting beliefs, so at least they can feel something, anything, soon you become so lost in it all, you begin to take this on as your own identity. So now when it comes to change, you recall the trauma, the pain, the limiting beliefs, the negative emotions attached to it, producing the same chemistry in the brain and the body as if the event was happening right now. It all fires the same neural pathways, your hardwiring, the same old patterns sending the same emotional signals to your body. So you feel as though it's happening all over again, because the thing is, your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference. It has zero concept of time. So what you know logically happened in the past continues to haunt you and continues to show up in your everyday life, making you feel trapped. Your body doesn't know the difference between the past, the present, and the future. You're creating that reality by your emotions and thoughts alone. So most people then are consistently reaffirming and collecting evidence to support their unresourceful emotional states. So when it comes time to give up and release that old negative emotions, you can say that you really want to, but your subconscious mind can have other ideas, as these negative old emotions and limiting beliefs have conditioned themselves over many years and disguised themselves as your identity. And its current belief is that if you give up this identity, you'll no longer exist. After all, it's spent its entire life collecting evidence to support these negative belief systems. Rather than stepping into the unknown and face false fear, false because it's purely an illusion based on the unknown, your subconscious mind would rather feel the anger, the sadness, the fear, the hurt, the guilt. You would rather suffer because at least it's predictable. And you've been feeling it for so long now, you know how it feels. In fact, it's no different. It's just like an unhealthy relationship. The unknown is a scary place for most people because the unknown is uncertain. And so the pattern repeats, so on, purely because it's predictable. What have you started to predict your life from an empowering space? Not from the painful place of what your subconscious mind knows, but from an amazing possibility of your current unknown. What thoughts and emotions do you want to rewire your brain to have? What new and exciting programs would you choose to download and run instead of the old shitty one? What behaviors do you want to demonstrate? What would your life be like if you did this? Who could you be? You are now able to install neurological pathways of your choosing into your subconscious mind, into your brain, where these positive and amazing events and possibilities begin to really look and feel like they've already occurred. When you release your negative emotions and limiting beliefs, you're now able to install the neurological pathways of your choosing into your subconscious mind, where the positive and amazing events, the possibilities begin to look and feel like they've already occurred. Now, your brain is no longer a broken record of the past. It's now able to map the future. And if you keep doing this, continue to prime it in this way, the pathways become stronger and stronger, and this becomes the new programming in which you operate. And when you operate from this space, before you even know it, you start acting like a happy person. And at first, you may not believe it, but when you look at it a little closer, it's because you're happy, so it's no longer an act. We're conditioned throughout life to believe it when you see it. And I think that's the hardest part. We've been conditioned that that's the way that it is, the only way. So what does that mean? You can continue to wait for success, wait to feel empowered, and continue to look externally for all of this, but you're never going to find it because it's inside of you already, simply buried by all the cultural and societal beliefs that you've downloaded throughout your life. You see, you can't wait for your wealth to feel abundant. You can't wait for your new relationship to feel the love that you so desire. You can't wait for the magic pill to heal you in order to feel whole. It all comes down to cause and effect. When we wait for something outside of us to change how we feel on the inside, or we wait for somebody else to have us feel whole, you're giving your power away to time. And this is the most precious resource of all. It's the only thing we can never buy more of. You're powerless while you're waiting for something externally when it only exists internally. The quantum model of reality is about causing an effect, not living in it. The moment you start feeling abundant and worthy, you're generating wealth. The moment you empower yourself to feel it, you're beginning to step towards your success, to step for what your true potential is. The moment you start feeling worthy and complete, your healing begins. And when you love and accept yourself, it all starts to fall into place. When you love and accept all of your life's experiences for bringing you to the here and the now possibility, you're now causing an effect that you can have a radical impact on how you feel and experience your own life. I believe that's the difference between living as a victim, believing that your life is a result of this person or that person, or that this happened or that happened. They made me feel this way. When you flip that on its head, you become the creator of your world, the creator of your life. When you start saying, my thinking, my feelings is what will change the outcome of my life and what shows up for me, now that's the game changer. We're playing an entirely different game of life now. So with many thoughts running through our head each and every day, 90% of them being the same as they were yesterday and the day before that, it's any wonder why you become trapped living in the same reality and nothing really changes. Nothing's going to change unless your feelings and thoughts start to change. The same feelings lead to the same thoughts, leading to the same behavior, resulting in the same predictable result, that result in the same old experience, creating the very same feeling that it all started this shitty cycle to begin with. When we take the action of becoming aware of this cycle consciously, the more power we have in our own life. The more we become conscious of our unconscious, and the more consciousness we have, and you become less likely to spend as much time being unconscious to your behavior and previous emotional triggers during the day. No longer will these unconscious behaviors and emotional triggers slip by without your awareness going completely unchecked. But now, because you're aware of them and because you've realized them from the root in your unconscious mind, they no longer have power. You do. You now have the power over your emotions. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent. So be conscious of what it is that you're practicing. If you do it enough times, this will become your brand new default behavior and pattern. It becomes predictable, and that predictability gives you a sense of safety. And as I say to my clients, just like a beautiful garden, if you're planting a garden, you've got to get rid of the weeds. And yes, they may start to try and come back. But you know what you're looking for, and it's not as scary to remove them. And just like any garden with healthy soil, you need to turn the soil over. You need to fertilize it. Be the best fertilizer. The best fertilizer is organic. It's organic manure. Or as it shows up in our life, as we more commonly call it, shit. And just like any garden with healthy soil, you need to turn the soil and fertilize it. At first, it's uncomfortable, but all seeds grow by pushing through the shit. And whilst they may not know it at first, it's the shit that in fact helps them to grow and become stronger and more resilient. Don't dim your light if others think you shine too bright. Be the light so that they can see. So when your body wants to go back into its emotional past and you become aware of its attention on the emotion, thank it for showing up. Acknowledge that it's there and its intention is to keep you safe, but let it know that it's false fear. Pop that fear in the back seat and strap it in. One day you might really need it, but not today. Today you're driving the car. You're driving your life. You're in control. And after you've put that false fear into its little baby seat, because after all, you're choosing to now live a bigger life, I politely let that false fear know it cannot touch the dial or pick the music, because this is my show and I choose how it goes. So it all comes back to you now. Are you going to continue to be a victim and give your power away, repeating the same cycles, living each day with negative emotions, the anger, the sadness, that false fear, the hurt, the guilt, feeding the limiting beliefs that you've had for so long? Or are you going to be brave and take the action to change your life? You have the power to choose. You can make that choice right here and now. It's all up to you. It's in your decision. You have the power. It is within you right now. Make that choice. Make that change. Take control of your life and inspire yourself.